What is up, y'all? It is your girl, brand new. I'm in the building. How you doing? Today I want to pretty much talk about the question that has been in my head for a while now. And the question is, do you have to be traditional about everything for like people to accept you? Because one thing that I really notice is you're nobody unless you're married. You know, I would talk about my relationship to certain people and they would be like, well, when are you married? And when are you guys going to get married? And it was almost like this attitude of, oh, until we're married, we have nothing. We don't have the tools or what it takes to educate people on being in a relationship, being friends first, and, you know, good communication and having a good understanding. And I understand that people may really want to hear from people that are married, you know, been married for 20 years. So on the other side of the coin, I can understand that. But what you guys really need to understand is that times are changing. Nobody is looking to be married like that anymore. Everybody, if you notice, is not straight. Some people are gay. You know, you have to have some sort of acceptance for who people are. And some people are spiritualists and they're like me. They like reading their Eckhart Tolle, their Gary Zukav, their Carolyn Myss. You know, they love their spiritual teachers and they prefer that over going to church. So it's just a matter of, are you a bad person because you are walking a different path? You know, you are doing things in a different way than other people. You know, it's just like when you choose to do things in a different way, it's like people have to be so judgmental of you and they criticize everything you do. I remember one time I was getting my oil changed. And this guy, he begins talking to me and, you know, I talk to strangers, you know, if they're being friendly, you know, make conversation till my car is done. And I remember he just tried to ask me all these damn questions. And he was like, well, do you go to church? Do you go to a Bible-based church? And I'm just like, no, I stopped going to church. It's, you know, it's not for me. And I'm a spiritualist and, you know, I read my spiritual books. That's what makes me feel good and keeps me peaceful and keeps me rejuvenated. And honey, he was not hearing none of that. He didn't want to hear that shit. You know, it was just, oh, well, you should go to church and what you doing right now, you making excuses. And it took everything in me to not go the fuck off on him because I wanted to tell him, listen, I am grown. I do what the fuck I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. And I think it's very disrespectful for anybody to come at somebody a certain way because they do things that are different from you. That's not cool. You know, I always tell this to people. We get one life, just one. And you better ride this mug till the wheels fall off. Don't sit up here and be living a life that is not true to you and your character and who you are. One thing about me is I live in my truth. I realized a while ago I was not getting what I needed from church. That's why I stopped going. When I began reading Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth, when I read that book at my job, I almost wanted to get up, run around. I was in tears because he was speaking my language in every sense of the way. No Bible scripture had ever did that to me. You know, I've had moments at church where it was fun and it was cool, but this was different. This was deeper than words. You know, it was spiritual. I just can't even put it into words, to be honest with you guys. How good I felt, how accepted I felt, how I knew I wasn't crazy. I had always thought everything that he was saying in that book. And that book really changed my life. And I believe that was back in 2012. So, yeah, I love my spiritual teachers, and nobody will take that away from me and tell me, oh, I'm wrong because I don't go to church and I don't, do certain traditional things. Another thing is, like I said, this whole being married thing. A lot of people like to make a big deal about getting married, but how many of y'all are really staying married? How many of y'all really have positive marriages? Because the same shit that happens in relationships can happen in marriages. A person still can cheat, dog you, bring all kind of STDs into their marriage. They could do all kind of stuff to you. So don't think because, I'm married and we're married, we're doing something so special. That is a beautiful thing if, you want to commit your life to that same person. And nothing wrong with it, but don't think that you're better. Just know that you're walking your path, you're doing what you believe in, and if somebody else chooses to do something a completely different way, they can, and stop judging them for that. Another thing is, I want to talk about kids. It seems like you're not really a parent unless you got 2 and 3 kids. No, you gave birth, or you adopted, or you take care of kids. You are a parent. You are a parental figure. So, we need to really stop this whole, no, it ain't come out of you, so you're not really a mother like that. No, I do believe that, you can be a parental figure, and raising a child and having ideas for how the child should be brought up. So, that's how I feel about that, though. I feel like people are very judgmental and critical these days. Another thing is, I notice a lot of people, they do it on Facebook. This will be the last one I touch on. Is the whole going out thing. People will say in a minute, you went out last night, but if you got time to go out, you got time to serve the Lord. However, a person chooses to serve the Lord is their business. That has nothing to do with you. Do not do guilt trips. Because anything that starts with guilt, it doesn't end with God. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you cannot be telling people how they should worship the Lord. Now, if they out here talking about they a Christian and they always drinking and doing all these extracurricular activities, that's a little bit different. But a person can go out to a bar or a club, and the next day they may not want to go to church. They may want to watch it via TV. That's what the TV services are for. You can watch it on TV. You can watch it on the internet. As long as they are getting that spiritual guidance and it is helping them be the best person that they can be, who are you to judge? People are so damn judgmental because you don't do everything by the book, verbatim, the way that they say and do it. I don't understand it for the life of me. But that's pretty much, you guys, what I wanted to talk about. Do you feel that, everybody is so traditional these days? Do you feel like it's easy to be accepted for who you are? Do you feel pressure to be more traditional? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It is your girl, Brand New, and I am out.